The film begins with Athena, a woman sitting at her desk casually texting with friends. They're sharing memes and eventually start chatting about a place called the Manor in the Hunt. Meanwhile, on a plane, a flight attendant offers a man caviar. He dismisses it, asking sarcastically for items that clearly require a kitchen. When she returns with champagne, a disoriented man suddenly stumbles into the cabin, startling everyone. The man who had requested the champagne comments that one of them is awake. An older gentleman steps in, claiming to be a doctor, and attempts to calm the situation. He gets the man to lie down on towels, only to unexpectedly stab him, shocking the passengers. The injured man retaliates, flailing a bottle around until Athena arrives and decisively ends him by stabbing him with her shoe. As she cleans the blood off her shoe, she remarks that there's no room for sentiment in war. The older man drags the still-living victim to another section of the plane, where he begs for help from a blonde woman, but she remains unconscious. Later, the blonde woman awakens outside, gagged and unable to remove it. She notices another gagged woman across a river, but receives no help as the other woman moves on. Spotting a man nearby, the blonde follows him to an open field where a large crate sits. Other strangers gather, and one warns it might be a trap. Ignoring the warning, the man opens the crate, releasing a pig and uncovering a cache of weapons. The group scrambles for the weapons and begins removing their gags with found keys. Suddenly, gunfire erupts, forcing everyone to scatter. One by one, people are picked off. Some are shot, others meet grislier ends. A woman falls into a ditch and is gravely injured, but a man tries to rescue her. As they flee, he steps on a landmine, killing them both. Meanwhile, another survivor reaches a fence and encounters the man who opened the crate. They're soon joined by two more people. Together, they attempt to escape, but the crate opener stays behind, facing his pursuers before being killed. The remaining three survivors reach a gas station. Inside, they find a seemingly kind older couple. One of the survivors, wearing a blue shirt, demands to know their location. The couple informs him they're in Arkansas. He uses their phone to call for help, but the situation quickly escalates. The woman eats a cookie, only to start choking, revealing the cookie was poisoned. The couple dons gas masks and throws a smoke grenade. Before Blue Shirt can retaliate, he's killed by the man, who then suffocates another victim using the gas. With the bodies disposed of, the couple argues over their actions. The wife hesitates, feeling remorse after noticing a wedding ring on one of their victims. Her husband dismisses her guilt, rationalizing that the man was likely a terrible person. They debate the nuances of morality until they receive a radio call warning that another target is approaching. They prepare to greet the newcomer. Crystal, the approaching woman, walks into the gas station. The couple greets her warmly, pretending everything is normal. She buys a pack of cigarettes and casually asks which state she's in. Sensing something amiss, Crystal takes action, turning the tables on the couple. Crystal acts swiftly, grabbing a shotgun hidden under the counter. She shoots the man first, then the woman. After ensuring the gas station is clear, she checks the area and discovers the bodies of their earlier victims. Gathering supplies, including rubber bands and ammo, she discards her jacket and steps outside. Spotting a truck nearby, Crystal investigates. She notices the license plates have been altered, hiding Croatian ones underneath. As she examines further, she finds a tripwire attached to a bomb. Overhearing voices on the radio she took from the gas station, she realizes others are looking for her and the missing couple. Hiding in the bushes, she listens as they dispatch a drone to survey the area. When someone shoots the drone down, Crystal stays concealed. The shooter, a man, appears, smashing the drone even further. As he approaches the truck, Crystal warns him about the rigged explosives. She also points out that shooting the drone has given away their location. Ignoring his response, she heads toward nearby train tracks she spotted earlier, and the man decides to follow. On their way, he shares a theory. They're being hunted by a group of liberal elites who abduct people to hunt for sport. Crystal brushes off his wild claims. Hearing a train, she urges him to run, and they both manage to jump aboard. Inside, they find a group of immigrants hiding. The man immediately insists they're crisis actors, a claim Crystal dismisses. The immigrants don't speak English, and Crystal grows increasingly skeptical at his conspiracy theories. When the train comes to an abrupt stop, military police begin searching the compartments. Crystal, the man, and the immigrants surrender. As they're frisked, the man tries to convince an officer that he and Crystal are Americans while accusing the others of being actors. One of the immigrants, speaking perfect English with an American accent, taunts him, claiming he's the only actor there. This sends the man into a frenzy. He tackles the immigrant, shoving a grenade into his pants. Everyone scatters as the grenade explodes, killing the immigrant and leaving Crystal in a chaotic situation. Crystal is next seen in a truck headed to a refugee camp. Once there, an officer demands her papers. She deflects by asking where she is, and after a bit of guessing, figures out she's in Croatia. She requests contact with the American embassy. Instead, she's reunited with Don, another survivor of the hunt. At the camp's kitchen, the two share a meal while Dawn reiterates the same conspiracy theories as the other man. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of a supposed American embassy official who claims he's there to rescue them. Later, the three are riding through the woods in a vehicle. Dawn has recounted their ordeal to the official, who reacts with shock and vows to contact the State Department and the military to track down their hunters. Crystal grows suspicious of his behavior. Acting on instinct, she knocks the man out, drags him out of the car, and runs him over to ensure he's dead. Searching his jacket, she finds a gun. Dawn panics over her actions, but Crystal's suspicions are confirmed when they open the trunk and find the body of the other man who had been traveling with her earlier. Crystal discovers a map and listens as Dawn speculates that they might be the only ones left alive. He suggests escaping in the car, but Crystal has other plans. She's determined to track down the hunters and fight back. To emphasize her resolve, she recounts a disturbing story her mother once told her. As she finishes, the pig from earlier unexpectedly reappears. Meanwhile, at the hunter's bunker, the group discusses trivial matters about political correctness, barely paying attention to their surroundings. Among them is a soldier serving as their consultant who tries to keep them focused. They mock him until Athena's voice commands them over the radio to settle down. One of the hunters steps outside to relieve himself. Dawn distracts him by releasing the pig, allowing Crystal to kill him stealthily. Back at the bunker, the group hears noises outside. The soldier gives orders, but the panicked hunters barely listen. When Dawn tosses the pig into the bunker, they shoot it in a frenzy. One woman laments the unnecessary death of the pig, but the chaos intensifies as Crystal ambushes them, taking out one hunter and wounding the others. Crystal methodically dispatches her targets, incapacitating the soldier and stabbing another woman. During a struggle for a rifle, one hunter tries to render the gun useless by removing the ammo, but Crystal finds a remaining bullet and uses it. She systematically eliminates the others, including a sniper, but the soldier unexpectedly attacks her. In a brutal fight, Crystal pulls a pipe from the ceiling and beats him into submission, but chooses not to kill him. The injured woman insults Crystal, calling her names, prompting Crystal to point a gun at her. Dawn arrives armed with a gun, and Crystal urges him to ask the woman why they're being hunted. The woman gives a nonsensical explanation, and when Dawn protests killing her, Crystal challenges the idea of sparing someone based on gender. The woman, ironically, agrees that mercy isn't warranted, and Crystal shoots her without hesitation. Athena's voice comes through the radio, asking if Dawn has taken care of Crystal. Realizing Dawn might be a traitor, Crystal points her gun at him. Dawn pleads his innocence, but Crystal shoots him anyway, informing Athena of his death. Athena taunts her over the radio, inviting her to face her directly. Determined, Crystal sits with the injured soldier, calmly interrogating him. He warns her about Athena's meticulous planning, but eventually reveals her location. Crystal kills him after getting the information. A flashback reveals Athena's motivation. A year earlier, she joked about the manor hunt in a group text, which led to a public relations disaster and her being forced to resign. Angered by conspiracy theorists who spread rumors about her, Athena decided to make the hunt a reality, specifically targeting her critics. 8 months before the hunt, Athena chose Crystal as her nemesis, mistakenly identifying her as the person who posted disparaging comments online. Back in the present, Crystal approaches Athena's manor. Athena communicates via intercom, warning her to leave her gun outside or risk triggering explosives at the gate. Crystal complies and enters, observing disturbing photos of herself and others on Athena's wall. She finds Athena calmly cooking in the kitchen. The two engage in a tense conversation, where Crystal mocks Athena's flawed reasoning for the hunt and points out a critical mistake. She's not the Crystal who posted the conspiracy theories. Athena hunted the wrong person. The confrontation turns violent. Crystal grabs a knife and a brutal fight ensues. They battle fiercely, matching each other in strength and endurance. Crystal hurls objects, including a champagne bottle, at Athena, who saves it from breaking. The fight moves throughout the house, from the fireplace to the stairs. Athena stabs Crystal with a vegetable cutter, but Crystal retaliates by stabbing her with the same tool. Athena dies from her wounds while Crystal survives. Afterward, Crystal treats her injuries with a blowtorch, cleans herself up, and dons one of Athena's elegant dresses. She exits the manor, finds the plane used by the hunters, and forces the crew to fly her home at gunpoint. Relaxing on board, Crystal shares a meal and a drink with the stewardess, savoring her victory.